We're going to learn how to do some brushed metal papers and elements. You're going to be surprised at how easy this is. It's basically two filters. If you just remember to add noise and then do a motion filter, very quick and easy, but there's some other things that I'm going to do with you. Here's some of the layers I've had while I'm playing. So let's make a new layer. Go to the Edit drop-down menu, Fill Layer, and choose 50% gray. Now you can use any color gray. If you make this darker or lighter, that's going to change the outcome of your metal, which is perfectly fine. But for quickness, we're going to start with this 50% gray. Go to the Filter drop-down menu, Noise, Add Noise. Now down here at the monochromatic box, you want to have this checked. If you uncheck it, you're going to see there's a rainbow of colors appear in the sample, and we don't want all those colors, so be sure that that is checked. Now these other settings can vary based on your desired results, and this is one way where you're going to be able to make some unique metal papers different from everybody else. You can have uniform checked or Gaussian. It doesn't matter. They're both going to give you some different effects. The range is also going to give you different effects. This is going to be a more subtle brushed metal, and if you go higher, it's going to be more rugged. And so just pick something that looks nice. As you can see, I'm kind of viewing it out here in the preview, and I'm going to click OK. The next step is to go to the Filter drop-down menu, Blur, and then Motion Blur. You can see in this pop-up box we have a couple options. Once again, this is going to create variety for your metal paper. You can leave the angle at 0, which is what I'm going to do for right now, but you can also change it. These metals can be brushed in any direction. They can be in this diagonal direction. Choose what you want to make your paper unique. Of course, and now I forgot what I was going to say. It's too early in the morning for me. Let's go down to this distance, and what I would suggest, I've played with this, is to continue to move the slider and watch this out here on the desktop as you do so more than this here. And the setting that I prefer is pretty far out. If you go all the way up, you're going to see out here that it's looks like brushed metal on the edges but not in the center, so that's too far. If you go back in to the area just when this begins to come in on the edges, somewhere in there for me is a good setting. And now you're going to see that that doesn't really look very good with the edges as they are, and so the next step would be to enlarge that so that comes off your canvas. And if you go to the View, Print Size, you're going to see that makes a really nice brushed look for the pages. But you can use any setting. Once again, play with them and find a setting that you prefer. And there we are. We could have a very finished paper, background paper, just like that. But now we're going to play with it a little bit. If you would like, you can go to the Filter drop-down menu again, and I've got to find it, Render, and then Lighting Effects. And these are really fun to play with in here. You can just play around until you find something. You can see that you just pull around on the things that these are making some really unique effects. I can't get it to pull right at the moment, so let's go ahead and change it maybe to Blue Omni or a crossing, and just pull on the edges and change the shapes. There we go. That one made it really round. And then because I kind of would like it to flood fill the whole page, and then I can change these things here to get something different. I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time with it, but there you can see there's a whole different effect to the metal. And that one's not exactly the best one to choose, but if you'll play, you can find some really cool effects in there. I'm going to hit the undo button. Another choice that you can do to change this, of course, would be to change it to any color. Let's say I wanted to pick something more in the lines of a blue, and go to the Enhance drop-down menu and bring up the Hue and Saturation box. Just click Colorize, and now I have a brushed blue background. Of course, you can add layer styles. There are some photographic ones here, and that there gives a really nice color to the paper. I'm going to hit undo again. Another choice that you would have is to add a gradient adjustment layer, and if you go in here, you're going to see this one here is called Copper, and I'm going to go ahead and now, with this as the active layer, hit Control G on the keyboard to group these two layers, and then change this layer to a different blending mode. And now you can see I have another really great different kind of paper. If you don't like, as I don't, I think the whites in this are too bright, so you just double click on this again. You can change the angle. I kind of like that angle better. I can double click on this gradient and change the colors of these f-stops. I'm just going to click on it, and I can even look out here and observe and change these to a different color. And here's the other white f-stop, and you can see that changed that there in that corner, and click OK. And now I actually kind of like that paper. That's kind of a nice paper. What else can we do? Here's something. Let's go back to our original layer. Now what would be a great suggestion is, once you make your brushed paper, make a pattern with it to use it. I'm going to click on the selection tool and choose the fixed aspect ratio and set this to something small. Right now I have 300 pixel by 300 pixel, but we want it to be square because if you go back and watch the tiled pattern video, you'll understand why more. And so now I've just made a selection of a small area of my brushed paper. I'm going to go to the File, drop-down menu, New. Oh, I'm sorry, I forgot a step. So then first I'm going to copy my selection. I could have done Control C on the keyboard also. Now I'm going to do File, New, and what I copied is on the clipboard, and if I choose Image from Clipboard, it makes a brand new file the exact same size as the image on the clipboard. And if you go back to the other tutorial, which shares the simple filters, and use the center tile, I've now made a tile of this brushed image that will be able to be repeated without seeing the edges. And so I'm going to, well, I don't know where it is now. but you want to maybe do a select all, and there's marching ants around it all, and then go to the edit drop down menu and define pattern, and I'm going to do brushed metal 2 because I already made one earlier, and now I can just discard this file. And when I go back to my main file, I can do a create adjustment layer, pattern, and you can see now that the pattern is a default. It's down at the bottom of my patterns. There's the one I made earlier playing, and here's this one. And I can change the sizes of my metal now to something I would like better, and I really like the way that one looks. Some other things that you might want to do, let's change the brightness and contrast. I can make my paper a little brighter, a little darker, and there's a whole new look to it. The possibilities are just endless with this. With this tutorial. Now let's try making a few elements with this. So let's create a new layer. I'm trying to turn off all my layers here, and I'll show you how easy this is. If you go to the text layer, we're going to make some text. Not text layer, text tool. I sometimes don't say what I mean to say. And choose the horizontal type mask tool and just begin typing the text that you want to turn into metal. And I've chosen for this tutorial to type Guy Cool because brushed metal is really a Guy Cool element for our Guy pages. And you'll see that that makes a selection of the text. Now I'm going to go ahead and quickly follow through the 2 or 3 easy steps that we used to make the background paper. Remember, we filled it, fill selection with 50% gray. We went to the filter drop down menu and added some noise. And just get something that looks like it would work well. I'm going to zoom in some and then do the filter drop down menu, blur, motion blur. You can see that the setting we had before is way too high. So let's bring it all the way down until it works for this text. And now you can see that there's some transparent areas. If, for example, I apply this white background, you can see how it fills in those transparent areas with the white background. If I would apply this darker background, you can see it makes it darker. So what we need to do is fill in those areas, and so I'm going to go to the edit drop down menu, fill selection, and we're going to choose this 50% gray again, or we could choose a darker color. Let's say black. It doesn't really matter, but in this drop down menu we're going to choose behind, and that's going to put this black color or gray, whatever color you want. You can choose a custom color here by going in here and maybe choosing this kind of gray, but choosing behind is going to put that color behind what we already have there on our selection, and you can see how it made a huge difference there. Now I'm going to hit Control D on my keyboard, and I could leave it like that, but I think a bevel would really make this a cool element. And this inner reg element is really cool, and so there you can see I made some really cool metal text. Of course, you can add any bevel and apply any of the layer styles. Whoops, got my photo bin coming up accidentally. Another way to do this text, let's turn this off, is to get the regular text tool, and I'm going to type in Guy Cool again. And this time I'm going to get the pattern adjustment layer as we did before, and it's already set to this metal, and I'm going to accept it, but now I'm going to group these two. I'm going fast on some of these techniques because I'm assuming that you've learned them in some of my other tutorials. And now you can see I have this cool metal effect on the text. But if I want to change the size of the stroke to something that works better, I can certainly do that. And then I'm going to apply that bevel to the original text layer, and you can see then that I have a whole another look to the text. And let me bring up the other text layer. One of them is much smoother than the other, and so that is another way to get even yet another effect on the layout or on the element. And remember, you can use any element. We can go in here, let's go to the custom shape tool, and I always like arrows. Let's just choose one of them, and we can do the exact same thing we just did to the other layers. And I'm going to add the pattern to it. Going to hit Control G. Open this back up so I can change the size of that brushed look. And how about that bevel? Oops, applied the bevel to the wrong layer. Oh, there's a whole nother cool look. That bevel is, don't really like it as much on this. Let's find a different one. There we go. That's a kind of cool one. And so there's another metal element, and if I wanted to, I could do a solid color, pick something really a dark blue, group it, apply a blending mode to it, and you have a whole new look. And so there's so many things that you can do with this. I hope you've had fun watching me play. It is a lot of fun to play and come up with new elements and things to create, and I just don't like that. I love to play. Here I go again. I want, oh, black. No. Maybe the hard light. You can't see the brushed metal on there anymore with the hard light. Well, maybe that overlay was the best one so that you could see the metal. Anyway, you just go in there and play until you find something that cool that you can arrive at that and then share with other people after you get done using your creative outlet. And so I look forward to seeing what you can do with this. I'm going to take some of these things I made and offer them up myself for you to download, including the pattern that I made. I guess I should go over that real fast. If you go to the Edit drop-down menu, Preset Manager, choose Patterns, you're going to see the two patterns that I made here, and you can click on them. If you hold down the Control key, it selects both of them, and choose Save Set, and then you can save that as a pattern and drop it into your preset folder and have it to use over and over again. And so once again, I look forward to seeing what you have to do in the forums, and what fun that you can fun things you can find to do with all the inspiration I've given you here.